All right, rapid fire. What we got?
We're going to jump into rapid fire. Thank you guys for submitting your questions. As always, we'll always post this Saturday, the morning of, because that's when we remember to ask you guys the questions. So thank you for all your last-minute submissions.
Yeah, we need to start doing it on Fridays.
Yeah, do that. Fuck, I'll add that to my to-do list. All right, numero uno. Tony, what is the one thing you would tell your 22-year-old self if you spoke to him now?
We've already had this question, and it was, well, somebody asked me in a DM or no. No, I think
you just randomly brought it up, actually. But
all right. Well, yeah, at 22 years old is when I was at the height of my drug and alcohol benders and got in trouble, went to jail. So if I could grab a hold of myself before I hit rock bottom, I would have.
That is 05. That's 05.
Yeah, it was 05. Yeah, I would have told myself that the world is bigger than your neighborhood and your fucking loser friend group that you have, and it's not cool to fucking be the craziest partier that takes the most risk and takes the most drugs, and like this is not going to serve you well in the future. Take this energy and whatever gift you have and turn it into something positive and instead of something negative. I would have told myself to I would have also told myself like to kill your ego and be humble. Like I wasn't humble back then. I thought I was the shit. I was getting in fights all the time to maybe prove to myself that I was the shit or something, when in reality it didn't fucking matter at all. It was a waste of fucking time. And I would have told myself, you're going to end up fucking in jail, sitting there with a bunch of losers, fucking wondering if you're going to be there for the rest of your life. So make a change, right now, is what I would have told myself. It's hard to look back and say, would you change anything? Because I wouldn't,
Mm-hmm.
Like I say, the beautiful thing about the past is you can't change it. So you just got to live in the present. But the past, my past has got me where I am today. Now, there was a lot of outcomes that happened from my actions that I wish didn't happen. But like, it's hard to say would I change my past, because I just don't think I would, even though I went through all that shit, because I think I just have a way better perspective on life now than I did back then. And it would have just kept continuing until I hit some type of rock bottom, and maybe I would have ended up in jail for the rest of my life, or prison, or maybe I would have ended up dead, or, who knows what would have happened. I'm fortunate enough where I'm here where I am today. And a lot of that is because, my rock bottom was my foundation to fucking, kick myself in the ass and just be a better person.
If I'm not TONYMONT, I'm not as big as TONYMONT yet, but if my opinion counts for anything, I would assume that you're probably 22 years old. And if I could picture myself as being 22 years old, and if I'm asking somebody a question, it's because I'm looking for some kind of guidance, or I'm looking for some kind of direction to go into something. And I would say the biggest thing that you can do for yourself is to look inward a lot more than you do outward for other people, because other people are always going to disappoint you because you're secretly looking for something that only you can fulfill. And then have discipline. Those are the only two things that I think anybody that's 22 should have. Look inward to the things that matter to you and have discipline about those things. And if you have those two things, nothing else fucking matters. You can figure out the rest of it. But those, I think, are important.
Well, that's interesting. You see that question as, he's actually asking the question of himself.
100%.
I'm looking at the question like he's literally asking me, Tony, if you were 20, what would you tell your 22-year-old self? But you're looking at it in the perspective of like he's looking for an answer, for himself. And I was looking at it kind of selfishly, but I like that.
Your job's the answer.
No, I'm not saying it's wrong. I'm just saying it's a great perspective.
That's what I see from it. Question numero dos. If you had to start over and all you had was $2,000, what would you do to get you back?
Get me back. $2,000.
First, I'll start off where you started off with less than $2,000.
Yeah.
Love to have $2,000.
Yeah, when I started my first business, I didn't have anything. And it was just a bunch of sweat equity I put into it. $2,000 ain't going to get you far. I'd fucking save that for food and gas and make sure you can survive. especially in 2024. I started my last business in 2008, beginning of 2009. Things were different back then, but I worked really hard for, every single day. When I tell people I worked every day for the first few years in my business when I started it, like, there's no hyperbole there. I literally worked 7 days a week for years before I made enough money and had enough knowledge and built a good enough business where I could take time off, even if it was 1 day a week, and I could start paying myself. So $2,000 isn't a lot of money. I would say if you're at that point in your life and you want to progress, find somebody that's doing something that you want to do and do whatever you can to fucking work for that person and gain as much knowledge as humanly possible and get paid to learn while you're working, and then have the knowledge and a little bit more room than the $2,000 to fucking start a business. And that's what I would do.
At 25, why didn't you spend any of the money? Why didn't you pay yourself? Why were you disciplined for years on end? And like, you can just answer that simply, but like, it
was because I had just gone through like the lowest point in my life. So that was a little unique. Like, I was just happy to be not in prison and in a new place. I moved from Chicago to San Diego, already better and happier. I was out of jail, out of trouble, off probation. I had a new lease on life. And that was like the goal for 2 years, was to have a new lease on life. So when I got that, I didn't aspire to buy things or fucking have more than I had. I was content with a shitty little apartment, an old pickup truck, my dog,
and going to work every day.
And working every day. I mean, that was my freedom. I was working by the beach, meeting people, new surroundings, beautiful weather, and like that was good enough for me. And I knew if I was spending any money that I was making, it would hinder the next level I wanted to get at. I could have got stuck by not reinvesting into the business. I could have just been stuck at that pay rate for years and years and years. But me and my business partner, Scott, decided we're not going to pay ourselves a dime. Well, I shouldn't say a dime. We paid ourselves enough to cover our bills and eat and stuff.
Yeah.
But literally that was it. Like, we didn't have extra money. And we were reinvesting into the business to the point where one day we were like, holy shit, we got about $1 million worth of inventory that we own cash. So that's like our savings account. And we have a business that's doing, $3 to $5 a day in sales, working at like a 60% profit margin. And we had a team in place, and we had like $190,000 in the bank. And we called each other and we're like, hey, is this the time we start paying ourselves? And I think we both took out like $30,000 out of the account. And that was like our first real paycheck. And then ever since then, we were making good money. And it just took a lot of hard work. And it was like, we wanted this safety net because it was a new business and, just a new journey. And it was like, let's not fuck this up. Let's really build this thing out. Like, what is your vision? When you're starting off in any business, like, no matter if it's yourself or you have partners, you got to have a goal and a vision and just fucking stick to it. And everybody's got to be on the same page. And me and Scott were like, we're not paying ourselves until we have this amount of inventory. Our warehouse is full. We got a good team, and there's not all these crazy ups and downs where we're going to need, cash to buy more inventory or anything. Like, this is where we're going to be set up to where we start getting a paycheck. And it took years,
and in that time frame, nothing. My first thought is almost to think like nothing came up that would have, drastically hindered that. When you guys got crazy sick, somebody had to leave for a very long time. It wasn't able to, like, you were just able to do this, not pay yourselves, live with, $20,000-$30,000 a year type. Just do that. Nothing else went wrong.
Yeah, it's funny you say that. Like, I literally was paying myself probably $30,000 a year, living in San Diego to fucking just survive. And it was one of the happiest times in my life. Like, money was not like having like I knew I had the money. It was in the business. Like I could access it if something tragic happened. But at the same time, I didn't need money. I was fucking living life, man. I was happy as shit.
That was the most California thing you ever said. I was fucking living life, man.
I was living life, bro. LIVIN. But yeah, it was a great moment in my life. So yeah, just reinvesting till you get to that goal, and then reward yourself. Delayed gratification, which we talk about all the time. It would have been cool to fucking buy a new truck that first year, or buy a new motorcycle, or take a cool vacation. But what's a lot cooler is waiting 3 or 4 or 5 years and then paying yourself 30, 50 grand a month and being able to travel full time and do whatever the fuck you want without having to work.
Yeah, I 100% agree. Next question is going to be more into the dispo world. The pre-market agreement is in the purchase contract. Why get a second attorney in fact doc?
So yeah, we have those two go hand in hand in our purchase agreement. So a seller will sign a purchase agreement for pre-marketing. They're going to sign off on the pre-marketing agreement that we're allowed to list the property on the MLS. But the attorney in fact needs to be a separate document that you give to the MLS so you can sign on listing documents on behalf of the seller. So they go together, but they're two separate documents because you need that attorney in fact on a separate document to send into the MLS. You can't have it within the purchase agreement. And that AIF is what allows you to sign on behalf of the seller. The pre-marketing clause does not allow you to sign those listing agreements. That's just the clause that says, hey, basically, we're going to pre-market this thing. We need this signed in order to do so.
Jeez. All right, that was a quick answer for it. Second dispo question. For as-is cash deals listed on the MLS, why flat fee instead of agent?
Because it's cheaper. Like if you used an agent on every single wholesale deal, they're going to charge you
2.5.
Some type of commission. So now you're paying commissions 100. Like you're always going to have to pay commissions on your seller's side because you have a contract with that person. And if by luck you get a buyer that's not using an agent, your agent's going to want to fucking represent that buyer, and then you're still going to have to pay 5%. So you'd be paying 5% on every single deal you list, as opposed to 2.5% maybe on your flat fees, because now you're only having to pay commissions on the buyer side, which is all negotiable if they're even using an agent. It wouldn't be negotiable if you were using a seller agent, because it would be in the listing docs, unless you had a really good relationship with that agent or something. But it's all a profit margin thing. You don't need a listing agent on wholesale deals, in my opinion. You're using the MLS as a marketing tool, So people get that all screwed up. They think MLS, oh, you're going through the MLS, selling everything on the MLS. No, it's a marketing tool to show the world your deal. And then you're funneling all those buyers and agents into your CRM. You're still assigning the contract. You're literally just putting it on a platform to get your leads in.
Speaking of marketing, perfectly segues into our last question. You had mentioned pre-marketing earlier, and that being a big game changer for you. What do you mean pre-marketing? You want to talk about the pre-marketing side?
Yeah, and it's funny because Mario in the Misfits group just started pre-marketing his deals, and the first one he did, he got a full price offer before he even got photos, which is beautiful because it's something new that we're doing in our office. I came up with, a plan and a process. We started executing it, and within a couple months, we did almost $200,000 in assignment fees by pre-marketing. What pre-marketing is literally pre-marketing your deals. You get a contract on a property. Instead of waiting until you have access and photos and all that, which could take weeks sometimes, we'll start sending this deal send this deal to our VIPs, qualified buyers, our preferred buyers list. And what it does is create all this scarcity and urgency to get this deal before we start throwing it on all of our platforms and email lists and text lists and MLS. Like if a VIP gets a deal before you start marketing it, they're like, holy shit, I got to move on this thing because once it goes out to the masses, now I'm competing with thousands of people. Now I'm just competing with 6 people that are on the VIP list. So pre-marketing has been a game changer for us. We spent all day yesterday pre-marketing deals, getting buyers out to the property when your photographer gets out there to walk it and giving them first dibs on it. Like it's just bringing our offers up. It's selling the deals way faster. And even if people can't get out there to walk it if they want to, now you got a list of VIPs that are like salivating at this deal. Like, hey, can't get out there when the photographer's out there. I can't do a sight unseen offer, but the minute you get photos, send me the link and I'll put an offer in on it. Yeah. So it's sped up our process so much, and we're selling deals way faster than we ever have.
Yeah, there's 2 aspects to that. One, obviously the time efficiency for it, for a deal not having to sit there for weeks on end before something happens, and you can make 10, 15. It doesn't always have to be like, I know this was mentioned, like you don't have to always get it for, if you're looking for 22,000, but somebody's ready to go at 17 or 18 and it's been out there for an hour, you take that fucking 17 or 18
all day.
A hour,
Yeah. There needs to be a range that you're allowing either yourself or your dispo team to take on an offer. Like we're always putting these deals out for the highest price possible. Like, man, I really want to get 150 for this. The numbers make sense. It's going to take a special buyer to pay 150 for this, but give yourself a range. It's like, all right, if my home run number is 150, but I'm good at 140, give yourself that range. So if day one somebody comes in at 142, fucking assign that deal and move on. Yeah. You know what I mean? Like the quickness of this, of the cash coming in and out is going to save you a lot of times in business. That cash cycle that we talk about. It's like, man, I've spent all this money on marketing and all this shit. We got this property under contract. Like, am I going to want the 25 grand in fucking 3 months, or do I want the 21 grand in fucking 3 weeks? You know what I mean? So getting that cash back quick and then reinvesting it in the business and marketing and all that is just it's gonna help you scale.
And it's investor friendly too, because you have those times where somebody will put in a bid. Let's say you wanted to go for 150 and they put in a bid for 140, and you're like, no, let this sit out here for a few more days. That ends up being your backup buyer. You hit them up 3 days later, and they're like, "I've moved on."
Yep, I already found another.
Move on so quickly with these things, like
they're getting a lot of opportunities, and it's if you just sold a flip, and you got you're doing a 1031 exchange, or you got this. That's how flippers make money. These guys this isn't a side hustle for a lot of these guys, and when their money's sitting in their account, they're losing money. So they're actively looking for a deal to throw their money at so they can fucking make money. And if they have a finite amount of funds or a finite amount of lending, then it's like, hey, I need to deploy this 200 grand I just got back from the sale of this flip. I need to deploy this ASAP. And you give them 3 days while you're trying to market this thing, and fucking they find another deal. Even if it was a shittier deal, they just have to get this money out. Even if they're only going to make 10% on that shitty deal they just bought, they could have made 20% on yours. 10% is better than 0%. So, you got to look in the eyes of the buyer and what their needs are, and decide, hey, what am I good with selling this property at? When I ran the numbers and ran the comps and looked at the rehab costs and all that, Hail Mary, like I would love to get 150, but I understand if somebody offers me 140 and I'm still going to make good money on this thing, I'm going to give myself that range. Yeah. Somebody comes in at 135, all I got to do is get them up $5,000 to get this deal signed.
Yeah, and now I have my dispo agents grinding this deal out for the next 2 weeks just to bring it up $2, $3, $5,000.
It ain't fucking worth it. It ain't worth it. We want multiple offers if the offers are low.
Yeah.
But got to give your team or yourself that range of like, all right, I'm not stuck at the 150. I got a little bit of room there because that's my highest I think I'll sell it for. It's just like it mirrors the acquisitions and the sellers. Like we're offering them low as fuck. If they take that low offer, it's like, damn, I could have got it.
I got an offer too high.
Could have got it lower, but most 99% of the time, we're coming up on that number and still getting the contracts. And it's not like, hey, I offered you 90 grand and that's it. It's the same on dispo. Hey, I'm putting this out there at 150. you know, if they talk us down a little bit, you just got to be okay. Give yourself that range of, you know, 10, 15 grand to, you know, be able to fucking assign this deal quick.
Don't sell yourself short, but don't be too fucking bougie. You let $1 go, guys.
Yeah.
You want to take us out, Tom?
Yeah. Thanks for joining. You Are Not Normal. I didn't even introduce You Are Not Normal in the fucking intro. God damn it.
Holy shit.
Damn. So
that's how long that tangent went on for.
Yeah, I have a way of doing that every single podcast. But
fuck, that's an hour-long intro.
That was an hour-long intro.
Welcome to the show, guys.
Welcome to the show. You Are Not Normal with Tony Mont, and this is Gio with his horrible outfit and the shoes. Actually, Tony Massetti bought me, and I gave to you because I didn't like the way they fit or looked because they got pink and.
He's probably not watching this. Thanks, Massetti.
He's watching it. But anyway, thanks for joining You Are Not Normal. I'll do a better intro next time, and until then, me and Gio will see you at the top. What's up, guys? Thanks for watching my video. If you'd like to watch more videos, my playlist is right here, and if you'd like to subscribe, click down here. I'll see you guys at the top.